triangular robins, from triangular trees, and triangular honey from triangular bees. And oh, Mr. Confectioner, please give me Toblerone.
Oh, welcome to the Backseat Designers podcast.
Unlike the French champagne, we have not been celebrated for our excellence.
No, but we are fermented in a bottle.
But we might have been fermented in the bottle.
Yes. Welcome to a very special pre-AdventureX special thing, which is something that I've talked the lads into doing. They don't seem to really have any idea why we are doing this, and quite frankly, neither have I. But the fact of the matter remains that next weekend, the 19th and 20th of November in the year of our Lord, 2016, well, pretty much the year of our Satan, recent U.S. events notwithstanding.
Yeah, I did not see that coming.
I don't think any of us did. But
we came up with a trump card. Really beat Hitler there.
Oh God!
We definitely do stare into the maw of an uncertain future. I don't know what kind of Pol Pot you guys over there have been smoking, but there's no need to keep on stalling. I just wanted to put in a few words about the state of affairs.
We have been, we actually talked about this pre-show. There's a lot of things going on right now that we are told is very awful, and we are certainly sympathetic.
It's absolute shit, if you'll allow me to be franco.
Everything is absolute, but we have promised.
Just shut up.
We promised Gareth we wouldn't talk about Toblerone. So back to the hot.
There's been this brilliant meme going around, which is Britain saying we can fuck up our country like no other, and America saying, "Nah, hold my beer." It's just
that's also a good. But anyway, even though we promised ourselves we wouldn't get into this, we just did, and now I'm trying to rein us back into what's going to happen next weekend.
Yeah, no more comments about this. I'm not qualified. After all, I'm just a young one.
Jesus fucking Christ! Well, you lot are coming over to England. You're coming over to London, the heart of
Brexit,
the heart of
bad electoral decisions.
Britain.
Yes, in fact, the very bosom of Britain. We will be snugly coaxed, nestled in between the big, huge teats of Her Majesty's own kingdom on the 19th and 20th November 2016.
You've clearly never been.
Maybe they're a bit saggy and a bit sweaty, but we're cool with that. I mean, tits are tits.
Dear Lord.
The event in question is AdventureX, the annual adventure game convention organized by our friends over at Screen 7 and some other dudes. I think Sky Goblin is the sponsor of this, and Wadget Eye is the sponsor of this. And it's been going on for a few years now, but this is the first time that either of us could scrape up the dosh to go in the parlance of the country that we'll now be visiting.
So it's also going to be the last time in general.
Yeah, pretty much. But anyway, in celebration of awful events, Toblerone and Brexit, we are going to London to have fun with our adventure game homies. And I thought it would be fun to do this little pre-show of our hopes and dreams and expectations, and then run around the actual convention doing a little short documentary thing, 3 nitwits go to a convention kind of thing, kind of a Louis Theroux kind of thing. And then by the end of it, when we get back and we've sworn never to speak to each other again, we'll do a after the big climax wrap up kind of show. So a big triumvirate of content for you, dear listeners.
But no full season.
Not a full season yet. We're still hammering. In fact, I'm kind of hoping secretly that we'll hammer out the details for the inevitable season 4 of Backseat Designers once we're over there, because there's been a lot of talk in the wings, in the private chat that we have, about what
Mull of Kintyre is shit, man.
Yeah, but we keep getting derailed by some weird ass shit. I don't know how that happens. Real life. And also that Mull of Kintyre is a shit song. And every time you guys bring that up, I get it stuck in my head. You fucking assholes.
Have you ever seen the Mull of Kintyre on a map?
Well, the cover of the 7-inch single actually has the Mull of Kintyre on the front cover, and it looks like a flaccid penis.
Yes,
Hashtag trivia. Go on, Linda. Play the bagpipe.
But how does that relate to the dig?
I don't know how it relates to the dig.
Well, it looks like a dick, doesn't it?
Actually, that was a much better answer. I should have gone with that. So anyway, as you can tell, the mood is kind of loose, and we don't really have a set agenda other than I'm looking at the schedule right now, and we are going to be running around trying to squeeze in interviews with a couple of people, seeing if they want to speak to us or not, which it all comes down to, and probably attending some talks.
Well, they didn't want us to do a panel. And we
yeah.
tried, and apparently we have been weighed, and we have found to be too light for the kind of entertainment that they were going for over there.
Although if you look at the schedule, you can understand why.
They're more into the whole existential dread type thing post-Brexit, and we didn't quite fit the bill.
Yes. Speaking
so
of
you will unfortunately not be seeing a backseat designers or open crowdsource panel. There has been placed a stick in the cogs of the machinery. We would have been eager to do one, but alas, the show must go on.
Down.
Yeah, I think given the people that they've got on here, they've made the right choice.
Oh, right. Yeah, because it is really an excellent schedule. I mean, we kick off big and fast at 10:45 a.m. with Dave Gilbert. I'm not even sure I'm going to be at the convention center by that time. I'm actually pretty sure I'm not. So I'm gonna.
No, you're probably going to hop on a train to Brighton and still be on your way back up from the South Coast at that point.
I am absolutely shit with public transportation. I don't see myself rolling in any time before noon or 1-ish. And by that time, I will already have missed Dave Gilbert, William Barr, and Rihanna Pratchett, which is awful, really. So anyway, lads, are any of you, because I know, Fred, you're going there early, and Gareth, you somehow managed to make a living there. So are any of you going to roll up at 10:30 a.m. and 10:45 and catch Dave and Will?
Absolutely. Not only do I want to meet Dave in person, but I'm also very intrigued to hear what he has to say, because I think something that became apparent during the special we did with Dave is that he keeps saying how he's not very good at marketing, but Dave is very good about talking about what he does. And he's very good at making it engaging for the listener. So I absolutely do want to hear what these people have to say.
He's brilliantly scheduled here as well. I think he'll be a great opening speaker to sort of set the tone for the whole thing.
Yeah, but you think like if it was a festival lineup, he'd be be the last person on the the scene closer kind of thing, because it's like
No, he's status quo at Live Aid. He's getting the crowd going.
But anyway, his talk is titled "From the Bottom Up," which I can't help but giggle a bit about that. But I'm guessing he means his company, and not
basically, probably an extension of what we talked with him about, which in itself will be a great talk.
So basically, starting out in his bedroom or living room, making games for the hell of it, and whoops! Suddenly, I have a company.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to catch as much as humanely possible, because I'm going there on next Wednesday, and I'm staying till Monday, so I'll be there for the duration of it, and I intend to savor every last bit.
I wish I could do that.
My train is due in early in the morning, so I should be able to rock it for that time.
Wow, you guys have to fill me in. Take some pictures. I don't know. Grab his bottom, anything, something.
Yeah, right. Knowing you, I'll be sending you coordinates on Google Maps the whole noon.
I've actually got directions written down in my Google Keep, thing, and I'm dead certain
That's
that
even worse.
by the time I rock up to the airport, the Wi-Fi is going to be turned off, and I won't have any mobile service, and it's all going to be.
Are you going to be? You're landing in Gatwick, aren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're going to do. You'll be doing very well to get lost from Gatwick. It's very easy to get into the centre. Once you're into the centre, you're fucked. But you should at least be in London.
All right. Well, that's good. Well, I do have directions, and I do plan to rock up as early as I can. I have an early morning flight. I should be in at around 9. So realistically, I could make it in time for the tail end of Dave's talk and some of William's talk, but I'm not banking on it with my sense of direction.
Well, and also you're not banking on UK border control. They will not let you through quickly.
No, they will give you the full rectal.
Well, I actually just recently passed through border control, but of course that was a connecting flight thing, so they were just probably glad to get me out of the country.
That was Doha Airport, right?
It was
Doha.
Welcome to London. Are you here for a... oh, you're not staying. Oh, good. Here's the shuttle bus. Fuck off.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
But in a London accent. In a sort of Manchester accent.
Welcome to London. We don't like being told what to do. Shuttle bus is over there. Here's a Toblerone.
These accents are racist.
See, you had a lot of practice with racism in your colonial past, so
yeah, you guys did it before I did, so fuck off.
Actually, we kind of did before them, the whole Viking thing. So we can't really hold the moral high ground there.
The Vikings weren't you misheard. The Vikings weren't racist. They were rapists.
Ah, easy mistake to make. And I just almost did an Orson Welles.
That's a game changer.
and
every time we do this sort of thing, I realize how much I've missed it.
Yes, me too. And to anyone who's listening, we do know that the Orson Welles meme is ancient, ages, but we keep laughing at it. It's so funny.
You didn't do anything?
No. Action, please, Orson. Oh, what was it you were saying before we started taping? This show is fermented in the bottle. And
Well, we do just want to clear up for the confused listener that there is in fact no such thing as Californian champagne. Orson Welles is lying.
That was before other wine producers were forbidden to use the word champagne because, apparently you have to live in Champagne in France to actually make champagne.
Well, you don't have to live there. It just has to be made there.
It's like Parma ham and Melton Mowbray pork pies.
And feta cheese.
Oh, yeah. And what was it? Paul Masson also does really shitty wine, isn't that right? I mean, the entire talk about it being fermented in the bottle and vintage dated and all that, and then it's just plunky piss, isn't it?
It's mid-range, I think.
In that one.
Oh, anyway, sorry, getting off track there. Dave Gilbert is a great opening, and I hope to hear more about it. But I have a feeling he's going to be sticking around for the duration of the day because I see at the bottom of it's a 2-day affair, and at the bottom it just says "the pub!" exclamation mark.
Yeah, I mean, there are a bunch of great people I do want to hang out with. I mean, Jean-Baptiste de Clerfay, who's doing Lancelot's Hangover, and Laney Berry, who's doing the St. Christopher School's Lockdown, I think it's called. All these people, I'm more looking forward to sharing anecdotes and making kindred spirits weary of myself.
That'll be easy. Just talk slower than usual.
It's a shame poor Francisco won't be there because we would have been capersing it up all the time.
Oh, we have to send out a dear thought to our patron saint of backseat designers, Francisco, who been to Saint Francisco, who has been to AdventureX many times and decided that this was the year he was going to give it a miss. Probably in some sort of clairvoyant anticipation that he'd run into the three of us, but I don't know. So many other people are showing up. The guys from Kill Monday Games are showing up. Isak and Natalie.
Oh, they are. I knew they were. They'd been put it down as maybe, but I didn't know they were definitely going. That's great.
I'm pretty sure they are. Isak, as far as I know, said that he was planning on rocking up. And I've they're pretty awesome. They're like really shy Swedish people, and then they make this fucked up children's nightmare of a game.
I love that game. So that alone, and I mean, I just played through all the Blackwell games, and in retrospect, I really should have done that before we talked to Dave last time. I hadn't made it through all of them at that point, but now I have, and I have so much admiration for this man now.
Yeah, have you tried playing them with the director's commentary?
No, I wanted the story experience first and foremost, so I haven't, no.
Well, if you make as many save games as I, you can just, at the end of the game, you just start reloading bits and then... Oh, well, never mind. And a person that I dearly want to approach and perhaps pinch the bottom of or relay some sort of reptilian message is Charles Cecil or Cecil, or whichever. I like that they put in creator of Broken Sword and Beneath a Steel Sky. I like that they put in Steel Sky because, as many people know, that's one of my favorite games of all times, and they could have just gone with Broken Sword.
And it often gets overlooked in favor of Broken Sword, which I also just completed recently. So I've kind of been trying to, these games that I haven't really given much of a chance in the past, Blackwell and Broken Sword, I've kind of been playing them in anticipation of hopefully being able to spend some time with these great people and hearing what they have to say.
Yeah, I've been playing Beneath a Steel Sky this week and been thoroughly enjoying it. So it'll be good to see the man behind it. It's crap, son.
Hobbins is great, and I love how
you do a great Hobbins. Actually, I can fix them with sticky tape.
Oh, I can fix them with sticky tape. The interesting thing is, Beneath the Steel Sky is so fundamentally British. I mean, a lot of Broken Sword has some British snark in there in a few places, mostly when you visit Ireland. But Beneath the Steel Sky is British to the core, which is weird because it takes place in Australia. So I don't know where they got.
Anything about a broken elevator, Norbert? No, can't say that I have.
But while we're talking about that, it's great to be able to talk to Charles. Is it Cecil or is it Cecil? Gareth,
we'll find out.
I would say Cecil, but I don't know who he is, so it could be anything.
Charles Cecil. It's great to. It's going to be great to meet him. Of course, it's a damn shame.
It's a damn Cummins. Tim Schafer.
It's a damn Tim Schafer that Dave Cummins is no longer among us, because I get the feeling that some of the wit, and if not all of the wit in those games, can be ascribed to him.
Well, Beneath the Steel Sky was written almost exclusively by Dave Cummins, and much of the dialogue in Broken Sword was written by him as well.
It's that wheezing and banging like an asthmatic dinosaur in the mating season.
But he had no interest in adventure games up until the end. I think he was more interested in playing bass and not be ill, which sadly he was until he died. So. And other people showing up that I really want to talk to is Will Barr, because I've as recently as yesterday and the day before yesterday, I was playtesting Her Majesty's Spiffing, another British to the core game, and written by an Irish person, no less. Which is, have any of you heard of this?
No, but isn't he from Northern Ireland?
I've heard of it.
Well, probably Northern. I forgot to ask.
Careful! You're about to open Pandora's box here.
It's not the worst thing that we've done.
Well, that's a really sad thing. That's not the worst conflict we've touched upon.
Well, he is. His talk is titled "Post-Mortem of Her Majesty's Spiffing," but it could just be Her Majesty's Spiffing and then a dash and then post-mortem, because he's going to kill everyone.
Wow.
Well,
why would you give a post-mortem to a room full of corpses? I've not thought this through. Is that insensitive, by the way?
What?
Well, it's novel. I mean, it is no doubt the greatest post-mortem you'll ever have.
And then there's a break for 30 minutes.
to let everybody get over it.
You've got everyone dead, and a miserable, surly janitor walks in. Bloody gamers, always making a mess.
There's a bit of a change in schedule.
Give me a fag, love.
Apparently everybody's dead, Norbert.
I wonder what Charles is going to say if people if we just walk up to him and start spouting Beneath the Steel Sky quotes. It's just Charles says, if like his microphone isn't working, just goes test, and someone from the back room just goes, "Oh, I can fix it with sticky tape."
To be honest, I just want to see you two attempting those English accents, because I get the feeling that's going to be very funny.
Oh no, there's only one character in the entire game, spoiler, that has an Australian accent, which is weird.
Is it Mel Gibson?
It's not Mel Gibson. No. Speaking of people with endearing accents, Richard Cobbett's going to be there too.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Virginia Capers.
No, she's not going to be there, and I'm going to trundle everyone who says she is. No, but Richard has put up with a lot of shit from us. Well, primarily me, but most of us.
Well, Richard is a great man, and in fact, I'd say that he's put up with loads of shit from me as well. Because when we did the final episode of Open Crowdsource with him, not only was I blazingly drunk, but he actually hung out with me afterwards for a couple of hours, probably, talking about every little last bit that he knew something about, which is a lot. The man is a walking adventure game encyclopedia, and he's very gracious with his time. So
this is true. But did you pee in a bottle for him? Because I did. While he was talking.
I'm going to let that stand without any comments.
All right. Cool. Yeah, but anyway, Richard is a fountain, and he's slotted.
No, actually, you're a fountain when you pee in bottles.
That's true. That's true. We're both he's an intellectual fountain, and I'm just
you're a fountain of piss.
Yes. But he's got a slot for a half an hour at 3 p.m. But he's
What's
just in shooting.
Libel alert. Libel alert. Libel alert. Libel alert. Libel alert.
Anyway, the evening ends with Jolly Boat, and I have no idea what that is, but apparently it's an award-winning pirate comedy duo. And if there's a Monkey Island joke in there, I'm going to cross my arms.
Well, Dave Gilbert is coming. Ooh.
Really? So close to Richard Cobbett, eh?
I'm not, I'm unsure if you got my joke, but actually I don't know what kind of joke I was trying to make. So
I think we're all reeling. I think we're all reeling from that bit we just had to cut out.
Yeah, I think we're not ready yet. This bit is also ending up on the cutting room floor. Maybe there's a Patreon episode somewhere here about rapist Vikings mounting.
Libel alert. Libel alert. Libel alert. Libel alert. Libel alert.
Oh, for God's sake.
Okay. Maybe, Gareth, you'd like to take over. Let's just, this is the bit where we come in again, and you say something.
This has been delightfully awful so far. It's I'm looking forward. I'm looking forward to all of it really, because it's only a few miles down the road for me. Compared to how far you're going to have to travel, and it'd be good to meet up with people, and especially some of these talks, which a lot of them cover topics that we've kind of done on the show, but they're going to do them much better. So it should be good.
What was that weird voice?
It sounded like a troll swallowing something.
Sounded like someone dragging a sweaty ass across Velcro.
And you would know how.
I certainly would.
Something that I did want to say in light of what Gareth mentioned is that what I like about this year's AdventureX is even though it's called AdventureX, they're branding it as a conference about narrative gaming. So they're not strictly sticking to point and click.
No, this is good. And they're also, I mean, we've been talking a lot about the people that we want to meet. And this is, I think, because we're a bit fanboyish and we've sort of been skirting on the, outskirts of accepted company in adventure game circles with this podcast since its inception. But now we're actually getting to hang out with the cool kids. So it's, at least for me, that's kind of how I feel. But also, we've just being able to soak up the atmosphere and be among like-minded people, because all the all the interaction I have with people who are fans of adventure games and story-driven games and such, the interaction usually takes place kind of like what we're doing now. This is the most face-to-face we get, unless I hop on a train for 3 hours and sit in Frederick's apartment.
Provided that you actually get to the train in time. Sorry about that, incidentally.
That is not your fault, but it does not bode well for us catching international air travel.
It does not.
And I desperately have to be back on that plane because I have to go to fucking work the next day. So
lovely.
Incidentally, I'm going to the convention on the Saturday when it starts, and then I'm going back home on the Sunday because I don't have any time off from work. So it's going to be a blitz of a weekend. Fred is staying there longer, and Gareth is sort of condemned to stay there forever.
Yeah.
Until they fuck up more confectionery products, then he's out of there.
Fucking Toblerone, man.
Fucking Toblerone, really? What
Toblerone?
What are we going to wash our French champagne down with?
I know there's a rise in hate crime against disabled people and people that look foreign, but a Toblerone, man.
Funny.
What's
that quote from that German philosopher? First they came after the Rittersport, and I stayed silent.
I love Rittersport.
Then they came for the Maltesers, and I stayed silent. Then they came for the M&Ms, and I didn't speak up. Then they came for the Toblerone, but no one spoke up for me.
We do deal with the real issues. Another person that I desperately want to meet is Jay Tolan, who did Dropsy the Clown, because he seems like a very, very nice person who is constantly apologetic that he used to belong to the Something Awful forums, and I really just want to look him in the eyes and see just how much he averts eye contact.
No, he was brilliant on your on the Space Quest Historian podcast.
Give him a warm, damp hug.
I am going to give him I'm going to give him a hug. It might be a frozen cold ass hug, but I can douse myself in flop sweat before I do it.
It is actually going to be pretty interesting to meet people. I for one, am kind of dreading how people will react once they realize I am in fact the voice of Cyber Cedric, because I take it people have been listening to your show.
I doubt it. I very much doubt it, actually.
Well, some of them are bound to.
I think most people who listen to the Space Quest Historian show are friends of ours, and whoever happens to click on the wrong link when a Space Venture Kickstarter update comes out.
Good point.
But still. But I think, Richard Cobbett listens to it. I know that, but he already knows who you are. Dave Gilbert. Man. Dave Gilbert already made the curious and funny faux pas of talking about how awful the echo chamber is, and then realizing that, oh shit, there's a Space Quest dude and a guy who does Cyber Cedric.
He was ragging on people making Cedric jokes, but in my opinion, that just makes it funnier. I've been endorsed by Dave fucking Gilbert.
That was good. Yeah. And I'm actually blanking because there's a ton of people who are coming who are not giving talks, and I'm just sitting here staring at the schedule.
There are tons of exhibitors, but again, as I mentioned, I'm looking forward to going to a conference that has its focal point on the narrative of these games, because something that we seem to constantly be going back to on this show, and in fact probably the reason why we've decided the season 4 is not exclusively going to be about adventure games but stories in games, is that the point that we always return to seems to be well, the story is the most important factor. We always go back to storytelling, not necessarily gameplay or mechanics or graphics or what have
puzzles. I mean, Dave Gilbert famously said that he's not really that into puzzle solving, and I think that's good because the man is an amazing storyteller.
That's why I enjoyed Blackwell. He's a great storyteller, but he doesn't have all these obtuse puzzles that the games of yore did, which was apparently the best thing ever because old Ken Williams did a ton of code, yada yada yada. So I'm looking forward.
That's libel.
I'm looking forward to attending a gaming conference that's all about telling
slightly
stories.
libel. He's not listening, so who cares? Gareth, what are you most looking forward to, other than trying to figure out how to pronounce Cecil's last name?
And Toblerone.
Well, I mean, I haven't been south of the river for a few years, so this will be an opportunity to go to a different part of London. I suppose it'd be fun.
You're bringing the wife, aren't you?
I am bringing wife, yes.
Ooh, that's going to go over a treat, isn't it?
I
mean, he has some explaining to do afterwards.
She doesn't.
So
Sorry, go on.
This is what you lock yourself in a room to do. Just talk with these two assholes. Yeah, I'm sorry. No, seriously.
She wants to meet you two. So, and she wants
what
a weekend in London.
Disappointment she is up for.
That is so good. And I think if any of the people who are at the at the convention, or even your wife, Gareth, if they've listened to the show for God knows how many years, or even just one episode, they're probably going to be the most surprised that we can actually be polite and relatively quiet individuals.
Yeah, really? We're nice people.
Well, I think Fred can.
I get awfully shy when I'm not, when I'm held accountable, when I'm not just there in audio.
When I'm held accountable. When I'm in the dock, Mullard.
And I have this awful trait where I actually get a bit, jittery and butterfly-y around people that I admire.
Like you're doing right now.
Fred is scatting. Yes, and that is exactly it. So I know I can, between the three of us, I can talk all sorts of shit about, celebrated designers and all of that. But once I actually, lay eyes on Charles Cecil, I might accidentally pee myself.
In a bottle?
Yes. In fact, Richard has offered to hold the bottle. No, he hasn't. Don't hold him to that.
Well, one of the things that I do like about the schedule is that they're all plenary sessions. We're not going to have to make a choice between seeing one person or another, which is always good when you go to these conferences. Because I've been to so many, well, I mean, obviously in a completely different setting, but I've been to so many conferences where you've got like loads of great papers on at the same time and you're having to make choices about who you go and see. But they've gone, no, these are the people we want to talk and we're going to let them talk. So I'm very happy about that.
Well, yes. The thing is, Gary, no one likes listening to the experts.
I think actually. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, it's just too soon to be making those jokes.
Well, no, it's gonna be soon. It's gonna be too soon every damn time we do this, because every damn time we do this, something awful happens.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. But what you said, Gareth, is actually true. I say that like I'm surprised. I think us going to AdventureX this year is actually pretty damn perfect, because this is the year I think they finally, I won't say matured, because I've never been there before, so I can't make that judgment. But it seems like they finally, got everything together. This is the exact perfect size for a convention of this genre.
Yeah, and they did a Kickstarter, and they have an actual website. And in fact, I remember last year we wanted to go, but they didn't announce a date until 2 weeks in advance or something, if I remember correctly. Yeah. And they were doing it in December, which has the reputation of being a busy and expensive month for 90% of the people in the Western Hemisphere.
Yes, exactly. We really wanted to go, and we just could not. And we were, I think it's fair to say we were a bit butthurt.
I was pissed.
Yes.
At the end of it, I was just staying away out of principle. Probably could have scraped together the dough, but I didn't.
Yeah, and if you'd gone, then I'd have hated your guts because you got to go and I didn't. And Francisco was there, and we knew him at the time, so there would have been a lot of shirtless pictures and butt pinching.
And
I'm
Gareth
all about the
didn't,
butt pinching.
and Mr. Historian didn't want to go because he was used to proper conferences, and he was the most butthurt out of all of us.
It's not so much that.
He was being Dr. Butthurt, PhD, about it.
I'm used to going to conferences where I get paid to go, so I can't claim this back on expenses at work, so there's no point.
I will personally buy you a pint, or several.
Yeah, well, actually,
the exchange rates are very good for me.
I was going to say you can afford it.
Well, if you haven't outlawed beer or something by the time I get there.
Well, that's a point. If we're going to be doing this preview show, am I supposed to be the give London a sort of a glowing review for people who are travelling there as tourists?
Well, we are going to have to go. At the end, there's the pub ! And when they say the pub, they've probably sort of already decided what pub they're going to. But I'm going to rely on you to actually give me full feedback on whether this is a decent establishment or not. Is it okay to wreck the bathroom? Really, that's what I'm getting at.
Well, yeah, we'll have to find out. I mean, it might just be in the student union, which will be good because it means the beer will be affordable.
Ah, yes, but see, then I'm
even
banging
better
trouble.
for me.
Yeah, but then I'm banging trouble because I've been to student union parties. I mean, I used to go to a lot of those when I was a student, and they don't serve non-alcoholic beers. So.
Oh yeah, you don't drink.
That's true. I got so traumatized about sound design part 2 that I just gave it up.
Yeah, I got so traumatized by sound design part 2 that I started drinking more. And then I reined it in a bit, but total abstinence doesn't work for me.
Well, Fred and I are going to meet up a couple of days beforehand to test out some of the establishments in North London, just to give some kind of contrast.
All right. And
Gareth is taking me on a tour. I have no basic idea about what I'll be doing in London, but just seeing the city should be something in itself. I rarely travel, so it's going to be great.
And what you're probably going to do is wake up in a bathroom in a cellar somewhere with a big old stitch mark across your abdomen. But it's all going to be good fun.
And Charles Cecil in the other room.
Yes.
Post-Brexit, post-kidney.
Yes. And he's just sitting there munching on a Toblerone.
Which I've had to import from France.
Yes. The only place where they serve decent Toblerone anymore. Yeah. So what we're actually going to do when we get there is we have this plan, you see, and I can say this in advance because we do plan on releasing this show either the day we record it, which is Wednesday the 11th. No, it's not. It's Wednesday the 9th.
You've ever seen.
My system clock is the wrong way around for us Scandinavians and the right way around for you Brexiters. It's Wednesday the 9th.
No. We have the same. Don't lump us in with those fucking Americans. We do dates the normal way. We do them the normal way. Yeah. Like the rest of the world. Shit. I understand what a centimetre is as well.
Oh, fuck me. See, a little side note here, because I did last Adventure Jam. I did that game where these two dudes are walking around, a guy and a girl are walking around a cemetery, and they pick up this ring, and the date, I photoshopped in the date on this wedding ring, and it was the quote unquote correct way around, which is date first, then month, then year. And the game took place in England. All the background photos were taken by a British person in a British cemetery. And then an American Let's Player called Eye of Onyx did a Let's Play of it. And she picked it up and went, wait, that's the wrong way around, isn't it? And I had actually written in the excuse that, one of the characters says, oh, well, maybe the engraver was drunk or something. Had I known that you guys did it the right way around, I wouldn't have had to explain myself.
No, we do it the right way around. All of our street signs are in Imperial, but pretty much everything else that we do is normal. So, yeah.
Make America date again.
Thank you, Brussels.
So this is why we have to have you around, Gareth. You're there to save us from these kinds of embarrassments.
Yeah.
But we will get into a lot of those. Oh, anyway, what I was saying. I'm sorry for that long, rambly story that led absolutely nowhere. What I was saying is we plan to release this show on either today, Wednesday, or tomorrow, Thursday. And next weekend is when we're actually going to AdventureX. And what we will be doing, as I sort of hinted at in the start, is that we're going to be running around with a camera, shoving it in people's faces until they get sick of us, but pretty much try to enjoy, the spectacle altogether. But we're hoping once we get home that we'll have, sort of a travel documentary sort of thing that we'll put up on our YouTube page.
Absolutely. If you're worried about ethics in games journalism, don't be worried about us. There will be no ethics.
Exactly.
Well, we'll be in Middlesex rather than ethics.
Now, there's something I've always wondered. Why? I mean, coming from such a prudish background historically, yes. Why would you have a section of your country called Middlesex? Or is it? This is something I've always wondered. Is it Middlesex?
No, it refers to the fact that area was settled by Saxon tribes. So you have Middlesex, Sussex, which is southern, Essex, which is east, and there's a historical kingdom called Wessex, which is west.
Wessex.
So why isn't it Middlesex? Wessex.
Things.
So where do you keep butt sex?
And why do you pronounce Thames that way? It's not spelled that way.
Look, we've got.
There's
going
to be a lot of questions.
We've got issues that we need to resolve, and this is low down the list.
Well, you do have an awful lot of sex, so you've got that covered.
Yeah, there's a lot of that going around. Also, Gary Glitter, and I'll have to ask your wife about Leicester. What's the pronunciation? What's up with that?
Leicester. We used to live in Leicester.
I think Worcester is actually worse.
Worcestershire.
Yeah, that one is off. Oh.
Worcester and Worcestershire. There's a town called Toaster. Towcester.
Toaster.
Toaster.
Well, thank God it's not toaster sex.
Toaster sex.
We've actually done that. Thank you, Jacob.
But anyway, one thing that I wanted to do, I don't know if we're actually gonna, do it, but one thing I wanted to do was run around and try to interview people and ask them the same row of questions, obviously with room for, ad-libbing and such, but really the same 5 questions. And although we've already sort of composed a draft, and yes, one of them has to do with Francisco Gonzalez's fantastic shirtless body, we would welcome if anyone has some good suggestions on our Twittery things and our Facebooky groupie things, if there's something you want every game developer there to tell. I'm not saying we're going to use your suggestion by far, and we certainly will pretend that we thought of it ourselves. But yeah, if anyone has a suggestion, feel free. If you want us to ask Richard Cobbett what his testes smell like, I won't do that, but I'm sure if I get Fred drunk enough, he will.
Yeah. I might even smell them for you.
Ew. Oh, that's like during the panel, just drop to your knees and just go, "May I please inhale the scent of your..." No, we're
no business that... like show business.
Yeah, we're cutting that bit out as well, aren't we?
I think we are. Yeah.
Did we lose the?
I don't want to smell Cobbett's cobbler.
That's brilliant.
Did we lose Gareth?
I think we lost the native. I think I heard his phone ring. So we should probably get all our jokes about Toblerone out of the way now.
Yeah, sorry. My front doorbell went, and it was a parcel for some reason at this time of night. So I had to. My wife isn't here, so I had to run out and.
Well, I'm looking forward to AdventureX. That's the bottom line. I'm looking forward to spending time in London on my own. I'm looking forward to spending time with you two. We also need to get some pictures done because this will actually be the first time the 3 of us will be in a room. And knowing how well it'll go, it'll be the last time as well.
And I'm so looking forward to Garrett's eyes as he realizes how tall I am.
I was
because
say,
that
I'm going to be so short compared to you two.
It'll be great. We can do this, small, bigger, and biggest type photo.
Oh, you know what we should do every time we run up to someone whom we admire. Like if we run into like Richard Corbett or Charles Cecil, and we pull out a camera and say, hey, "Can we do a picture?" And they go, "Okay, sure." No, I mean you take a picture of the three of us.
That's awful.
And then we come home with like a million pictures, each taken by a very cool person. Like, okay, this picture of the three of us was taken by Charles Cecil, and this picture was taken by Jay Tolan. And yeah, that's weird, isn't it? That's weird.
Yeah, it's there. Yeah. But yeah, I'm looking forward to hearing what the greats have to say about narrative gaming, and it's going to be a great time.
Yes, I am very much looking forward to. I'm also looking forward to meeting you gents, and I look forward to running around with a camera and having fun, and most importantly, just soaking it all in and being amongst like-minded people. And Gareth, what are you looking forward to?
Well, I'm looking forward to all those things as well, and I think London's a good place to have it. I know that I'm probably biased in that I work there, but it's a place that everybody can get to. There's something for everybody there. And yeah, like I said, I think the fact that they've gone, right, this is the schedule that we're going to do, and this is how we're going to do it, and been very sort of professional about it, I think it should be really good.
Yes,
yeah, props
exactly.
for that, because the Americans have all those conventions, PAX, and you've got Gamescom down in Germany, and I don't think there have been any conventions in or around London before with this sort of thing. So I think it's great that they're actually doing it properly. I mean, no disrespect to the people who've organized it before. It's obviously a bitch to pull off, but judging by the planning and the schedule, it's looking absolutely great.
Yeah, I was gonna say they've really upped their game. This is like a different world compared to what it was last year when we were just itching to go and we couldn't make plans because the announcement came so late and all this stuff. This is an entirely different ball game. This is professional stuff, and the schedule is amazing. I'm just looking at the exhibitors right now. The dudes who made Bertram Fiddle are going to show up, and there's a ton of really cool, interesting games that I've never even heard about. So I'm desperately looking forward to not just meeting cool people that I already know, in the social media sphere, but also meeting new people, excellent people doing excellent stuff. Oh, and Rizulka is going to be there.
Oh yeah.
We completely missed that. I'm just looking forward to running up to her and going, "What is up with my hair?"
So actually, we'll have like we'll have a no more for today foursome.
Also,
sounds cheeky.
Not in the sexual sense, in spite of the British town names.
You don't know her. No.
Also, because it's at Goldsmiths, I'm going to have Ed Jerome Wi-Fi, so that's going to be great.
Really? We were actually told if we were going to do the panel, we were actually told we couldn't do Wi-Fi. Last year when Francisco was there,
when they actually wanted us to do a panel.
Yeah. Francisco was going to do. He was going to be at AdventureX and do the open crowdsource thing with us, and he couldn't do it because the Wi-Fi was total shit.
Well, I'll be able to hook up to the university's network, so I'll be fine.
And of course, this year we did want to do it, and as far as I can tell, we would have had Wi-Fi, but fortunately, they decided they didn't want that.
And I completely support their decision.
You're not meant to say that.
Well, I don't want to sound ungrateful. It would be rude.
Yes, we have to be thankful for the absolutely wonderful time that we're going to have. It's going to be fun. It's going to be 2 days that are just going to whiz by, and I'm not just talking about
whiz by.
Oh, and not just the piz. I'm just looking forward to it. So I hope that the next time we convene back in our native countries over Skype, we'll have a ton of interesting stories to share. I know this was kind of a rambly kind of episode, but it was basically just, the hopes and dreams. And what I'm taking away for it is that we just hope to have a good time and talk to some interesting people.
Yeah. Before the world ends.
Yes, before there are no more Toblerone.
No more for today.